Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jerry Fetta, owner, founder, CEO of Wealth Dynamics, coming at you live with another mini Mogul Monday here with Sammy Larone. Say what's up, Sammy.
What's up? And we're going to teach you another thing.
Yes, we are. Now, before we get started, as always, if you stay to the end of the video, we have a fun fact for you, and we're also going to give you some homework today. So I know you already have a lot of homework if you're a kid. This one's going to be fun. Parents, you're going to be involved in this one too. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. And I want you to subscribe to the channel, like this, and share it with a kid or someone that has kids. So Sammy, we're going to talk today about how parents can start talking with kids about money and like how kids can start learning about money from their parents. What do you think about that?
Well, how to have conversations with kids about money? Well, now these days, the kids want to get, let's say, Xbox and whatever, all that junk, or a book, or anything that they really want. Just find a way to have a conversation about them. Say, okay, how about you do this, and I'll give you money. And then you can start, and then maybe kids like complains, and then you start saying how you work for money, how you do money.
That's true. And you experienced that. Like, so talk to us about like when you, a couple weeks back, you sold a lot of toys. We did a video on that. If you want to see that, you can go in our playlist. You can see Sammy made, was it over $500? It's like $540 something dollars.
$540. $40 like from the school, and I got profit out of, and then $500 for the
in a single week. So if you want to see that video, check that out. But talk to us about the difference you had an experience of going to the store and having others buy you something versus going to the store with your own money, and then you're like, okay, I have to use my own money to buy something. What was the difference in experience for you on that, and how did that change your view on like buying things?
Well, it just feels more better to get money than use money to get something. It just feels better giving something away and getting money back.
Yeah. So when you bought something, like let's say you were going to look at a Lego set, like what would you look at differently if you were going to buy it with your own money versus if someone else was buying it for you? Like what factors would be at play there?
Well, I would look at the price and like I would like, do I really need this? Do I really need this at all? And like another thing is, if you don't need it, don't buy it.
That's a good point.
I made that mistake long ago.
Long ago, okay.
And now I pretty much buy it with books.
That's awesome. So what are some of the things that you've learned about money just talking to me, talking to your mom, you know, like just having conversations with us as adults about money?
Well, that it's smart to invest so you can kind of get the head of the game of money. And if you're wondering who created the game, it's the government. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So you're trying to basically get ahead of the government's game by getting gold, getting secret account. And people who are rich, they're ahead of the game. They're making the goal. Meanwhile, the people who are behind, they're not really at the game. They're just not doing so well.
That's a very important point. Now, what are some questions that if a kid is watching and maybe their parents don't talk to them about money yet, what are some questions they could ask their parents to start to learn about money?
Well, first of all, it could be like, why do you need money? How does it work? Why did the government create it? That's a good question. Why did the government create that?
What are some other ones?
Let's see. Why do they work for money? Why is it so important? Yeah, like these kind of questions.
So those are good conversation starters. And what I like about that is when I was a kid, I remember having questions about money, but my parents, for my parents, they were always fighting about it. So it seemed like something I couldn't talk about with them because they were usually angry, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to get involved in that conversation, right? But if I'm a kid and I have parents that, you know, they're good with money, or they're trying to teach me, or they're watching the video, if a parent's even watching our video right now, it means that they care about teaching their kids about money to some degree, right? And so those are some questions. If you're a kid, you know, you can ask your parents, and if you're a parent, you can think about, these are probably the things, these weren't my questions, these are Sammy's questions. Sammy's 11, he is a kid, these are the things he's wondering about money, and so those are things he's learned. Now, we were talking the other week about like owning a house versus like renting a house. right? And you had a pretty cool idea that you thought of with that. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, so if you want to do, like, let's say you want to get a house, right? And let's say you're renting it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you want to go to other countries, you want to keep going back and forth, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to rent for this thing. So even when you are not living in it, you have to keep paying. It's very just dumb to do that. Might as well just buy it, because now you save up money. Instead of have to keep paying it, you just buy it. And then, boom, no more. It's yours now. So you can leave the home and you don't have to pay for it. It can just be left.
That's awesome. Sammy came up with that on his own, and that's what I wanted to point out is, like, as a kid, like, kids are very smart. If you're watching and you're a kid, like, you know, kudos. Like, I remember being a kid and being able to put pieces together and, like, this means this and kind of connecting all the dots. So Sammy kind of came up with that one on his own and just realized, like, hey, it's smarter to own in certain instances than rent. And that's some of what he comes up with just based on getting some of these financial basics down, getting questions answered, those types of things. So Sammy, what would you say what is your favorite thing you've learned about money so far?
Favorite thing? Well, let's see. It's just that it's kind of like a game. You earn money, you use it. It's just really a game. It's like a whole entire setup the government made.
Mm-hmm.
Just a board game where, like Monopoly, you have to earn money in order to win the game. Just like real life, you have to try to earn money in order to relax and have everything you want. You want to explore the world? You gotta be very rich first.
Good points. That's awesome. So we're going to give you guys some homework really quick. So if you stayed to the end of the video, we're going to reward you with a fun piece of homework for parents and kids to do together, okay? So here is the homework. I want you to sit down, if you're a kid, sit down with your mom and dad or your uncle or whoever brought you this video. Sit down with them, and there's 5 questions we want you to ask them, okay? 5 questions. So Sammy, you said the first one is, what is money? And you said the other one was, how does it work?
Why is it so important?
Why is it so important?
Why the government create it?
Why was money created by the government? And then also, why do we work for it was your 5th question. So those are your 5 questions that I want you to ask. If you need to see those again, just rewind the video 10 seconds and write those down. And then come up with your answers and talk about those together. And then we would love to get some feedback. Put in the comments what your answers were, what you came up with. Maybe if there was some interesting wins or cool stories that came as a result of that. And then speaking of cool things, what's our fun fact today?
Well, this one's money themed.
Okay.
Do you know in 2000, the $1 coin had a picture of this Indian girl that I forgot the name was? Like Sexuea?
Sacagawea?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a buddy that used to call her Sakawina. Sacagawea. I remember that actually. So that's an interesting fun fact. Now guys, before we tune off for today and wrap up, if you want to see more Mini Mogul Mondays, go to our playlist, click on Mini Mogul Mondays, subscribe to that. We've got a bunch of videos with me and Sammy, and it's talking about money for kids, by a kid. And then if you want to get more Mini Mogul swag, you can go to store.jerryfetta.com and you can represent the Mini Mogul lifestyle, which is about being successful and educated on money from a young age and parents taking responsibility for their kids to create that financial success. That's it for today. Sammy, do you have anything you want to say in closing?
Always keep working hard.
Always keep working hard and do push-ups.
Yes.